G'day, and welcome to Diecast Labs Australia. My name's Michael, and I class myself as the Mad Professor. I haven't been able to do anything online for a while, as we've had technical difficulties, and it has put me a little bit behind in some things, and ahead in others. We're behind in doing the April winning casting, which was the DB4. It is still not finished. I still need to print off the numbers on the sides. I have to do a little bit of touch up. I have to, there's the camera there, I still have to do the headlights for it, but everything else is just about ready. I've just got to do the decals of that one. That one should be ready hopefully next week. But in the technical difficulties is that the printer over there, we had to replace the toner cartridge because my other half kept printing off this printer as opposed to her own. So we've had that. We've been playing around with our OpenScan mini scanner, like we did about 12 months ago. Again, that was because Paul Restorer did a tutorial on a scanner, and I did the bonnet for the Dinky Holden, which is of that casting there. So I used that bonnet, get the camera right, Michael, and that boot lid to create our part. We've made it out of resin, and it is very durable. Now, the other major technical difficulty was our computer had died. Even though I had backup software that takes a snapshot of that hard drive, what used to be called the master boot record was corrupted for some reason, and in the past 20 years that I've been using the backup program, it has never failed me in the past. The conclusion that I've come down to is that there was an issue with the motherboard on that particular computer, because I pulled the hard drive out. The hard drive I was able to save and things work alright, and I've been able to pull some of the gear off that machine and put it on the machine that I've got now. I don't save anything on my machines. I always save them to an external hard drive, so that should something drastic happen, I'm up. All I need to do is install an operating system, install some of the software that I use with the install files, and again I'll keep them on the external, so I've got easy access and install. Now, what did I buy? Well, two things I bought. One was another resin printer, and that is the Saturn IV Ultra 16K, and I'm very happy with that. And a Mercury X Bundle wash and cure station was the other thing that I bought. It's not in there. Again, we're on a bit of a disarray at the moment because the Let's see if I can find it. The other thing that I purchased was that, a mini PC. It's small. It's very small, but it's very well. It has enough punch and grunt as a desktop computer, and takes up very, very, very little space. It is running Windows 11, and so far, with the way that I've been, sort of set up Windows 11, it's not the doom and gloom as some people say. But then again, I'm using a local account. I didn't set up the account via the internet. Anyway, that's going into other technical difficulties. I am waffling on. So we've covered that. We bought the new resin printer. I still have the old one, and I've still got my V3 SE filament printer. So I've got the best of both worlds. So we're going there. So now, let's get on with the show a little bit more. Now, for those that have watched Paul Restorer's last video, he did that. He did a Yogi Bear and Friends. Now, it has been an honour and a privilege to help Paul Restorer create Yogi Bear, Boo Boo, and Cindy. Paul did the Ranger Smith for his little project, and what I'm seeing in the comments, a lot of people are very happy with the Yogi and his friends. So I'm very chuffed about that. It's given me a bit of an ego boost. So I've been doing that also in the meantime when I got the machine running. So what else have I been doing? I've been sorting out my 3D files, or 3D print files. So I can get rid of that now. Now what I have are 3D print files for a lot of these are 1 to 75 Matchbox castings. I can print now, and we'll have available the canopy for the 1E truck and the 2D trailer, the canopies for it, the cattle truck, or the Dodge cattle truck, or I know that's a stake truck. I can print off the engines that belong to that, and a lot of the Matchbox super fast vehicles that had engines always had the same engines. We can print off the grill and the canopy for the Ford truck. We can do the surfboards for the Golf. I have access to the treads for the Caterpillar. The engine for the Wildcat, like I say, is the same as what we saw earlier, as what's in those two. We can print the boat. Everybody's got the trailer, but it's very hard to find the boat. We do have a very good file for the boat. Everybody can print off the pipes for the pipe truck, but we could also print off the base and the front bumpers, which are usually broken on them, which includes the grille and the headlights. We have the rear end for the ERF petrol tanker. Again, it's usually missing. By looks of it, it's the same as the 11A. So those two we can print off. We have the scaffold for the scaffolding truck. We can print off the cars for the Bedford car transporter. We can do the frame for the Land Rover Series 2. We can do the luggage for the Land Rover Safari. Again, I'm working on the treads on those. We can do the tow hooks for there. The engine for there, we're still working on the pipes. We have access to the rear doors for the Bedford low mass. We're soon going to be doing some 3D scanning of the doors for the ISO Griffo. We have access to the rear end of the Tipax vehicle. Treads we'll have access to. We have access to there's our hand, to the radar for the Badger truck. We can print off the body and the doors for the horse box. Again, we have the front end and base for that. We will be scanning the roof for the field car, so we'll have that available. We'll be scanning doors for that. We have filed for the interior and for the roof for the 23D Caravan. We have the file for the orange lift up door mobile type thing for the camper. We are scanning along the way the boot lid for the Rolls Royce. We have the interior for the Bedford TK petrol tanker. Again, all these with opening doors we will be scanning for our Open Scan Mini device. We have the 29C fire pumper, plastic parts on the back there. We have the hooks for the 8-wheel crane. We have the hook and the jib for the Deutz 6-wheel crane. Again, we have the front bumper and headlights and grille unit for the Leyland petrol tanker. We have the doors for the Matchbox 34B and 34C Volkswagen campers. Now, the doors for this will not fit on that. They are too big. These doors are slightly smaller. Or it might be the other way around. I'm not 100% sure anymore, because before I knew how to do 3D printing, I cast the doors for this and tried to put it on there, and they were too small. I tried to put a gap in. So these doors are smaller. Then what are those? So it's two different sizes. Anyway, stop waffling, Michael, keep going. We can do the treads for the Matchbox Snow Track. We can do the ladders and front end for the Merriweather fire truck. We can print off the Dodge cattle truck back and the animals that are inside. We can print off the skip for the Atlas skip truck. We're working on the motorbike. We have the tyres for the Matchbox 5000 tractor. We have the yellow ends and tyres for the 40C hay trailer. The Mitford horse box is the same as the 17E that we saw beforehand. Keep going, Michael. 17E, there's 17 as that one. That back end is the same as the number 40. As we go back down, as that one, they're exactly the same. We can print off the 41E rear doors for the ambulance. Again, the hook on there we can print off because they're all the same. The rear doors for the pony trailer, they are exactly the same as the doors for that one and for the 17E. We can print off the rear door for the refrigerator truck. We can print off the roof rack and boat for the Corsair. So there's plenty that we can print off. We can print off the sliding door for the Pickford's removal van. We can print off the grey part of the tipper container truck. We can print off the plough and the rear end for the Mercedes Unimog. We can print off the tyres for this Unimog, the tow hook for there. We can print off the canopy for the kennel truck, but we also have a flat tonneau cover, so you don't see the ribs that are there. Again, we can print off the bumper and front end of that one because it's the same as a few others. We can print off the luggage for the Fiat. This one we're soon going to be working on. We can print off the ladder for the 57C Land Rover fire engine. We have a tonneau cover or flat cover for the wildlife truck. Plus we've also now have access to the clear cover up the top there. We can print off the girders. In the past, if you've been a regular viewer of the channel, we can print off the Sight Hut truck now. We can now print off the yellow piece for the stalwart. We can print off the jib and hooks for the Peterbilt. The same thing for the Ford wreck truck. The engine for the rat rod. The hook for that one. We have the pipes and the sign writing and the horn for the airport crash tender. We have the engine for this Capri. We have the cover for the Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow Coupe. We have the grit spreader for the truck, the part that slides. We have this cattle truck or stake truck, which is the same as what we saw earlier. We have the frames for the Jeep. We have the boom and the hooks for the Tojo. We have a window units for the Ferrari Berlinetta. And I have them over here in my Mediafire account. And we're in the Diecast 3D print file section where I've got Corgi toys. I've got the Junior's Lotus Europa engine cover, the Citroen Safari roof rack. I have the Chitty Chitty Bang Bang figures. I have the Aston Martin 218 window unit and interior, because they came with the vacuum formed. When I get this one finished soon, you shall see the interior that I've got in there. We have the Hillman Hunter Safari parts, and we have the Hillman Imp front and rear suspension, which are usually broken and which people are usually going with the gear 1.6 litre. So we have the suspension units for the corgis. Dinky toys, we have the Aston Martin DB5 convertible parts, and we have the Dinky 169 Holden front bonnet and rear boot lid. As I said, with the Matchbox, we have a plethora of files in there. Trying spot on, we have the Austin Cambridge. Again, you should have seen that video by now. Yogi Bear and Friends, like I said, I did these for Paul Restorer. We have useful castings for other stuff. We have car door mirrors. We have a person on a stretcher that can go into ambulances. We have roof racks. We have bull bars. We have Recaro seats. We have steering wheels. We have tow hitches. And we've got the wave bridge that I used when I did the side hut truck. Did a comparison, did the two. So I will be putting these files up for sale on Cults, on Maker World, on Printables, and a few other places. Once I have all that set up, I'll be leaving links in the description. If you are a diecast and scale modelers or diecast and modelers community Facebook group member, you will get a discount compared to the general public. If you come and join the diecast and scale modelers community, I'll leave a link in the description on this, and you come to the tavern, you will get the files for half price. I'm selling the files, or if you want me to 3D print them, I can do that, but that is a different charge for the print. So hopefully you understand why it's taken me a little bit of a while to catch up. So I shall end this here, and I hope to see you shortly and with a diecast video. Bye for now.